Riverside International Raceway, California, the 300H has already tasted competition victoriously. A specially supercharged model piloted by owner-driver Andy Granatelli set a world-class record for the half-mile drag, crossing the line at 134 and 32/100 miles per hour. The post-war phenomenon of motorsports has grown to giant size. Millions of spectators, hundreds of thousands of participants. In times not generally good for magazine publishers, motor publications have soared to a profitable readership over 10 million strong. In the auto industry, the enthusiastic engineers who design America's high-performance cars have become its most dedicated and vocal salesmen.
You've seen 300 engineering in motion. There's more we're proud of. The engineered interior. This also is part of the main 300 idea. To engineer a car that is a sports car in every important respect, but American in size and comfort. These bucket seats, for example, are the most comfortable we've ever built. They cradle and support the body, and yet don't trap you. This full-length console houses storage space, both front and rear, window lift controls and ashtrays for the rear passengers, and up here, window lift controls and ash receiver for the front. And of course, up front, a tachometer that is so important to high-performance cars. If you're interested, let's examine some of the features of the 300H's high-performance engine. And some of them are the private property of the 300H. High-performance engineering begins simply enough with getting the maximum air-fuel mixture into and out of the cylinders. So let's start with the air cleaners. We use two air cleaners, both much smaller than ordinary air cleaners. The filter, however, is still there. Most air cleaners have a big dead air space around the filter for silencing. By eliminating this silencing baffle, we speed up the flow of air, and incidentally, that produces part of the throaty sound of the sports car. Under the air cleaners are two carburetors, each with 4 barrels, one in effect for each cylinder. These feed into a special log-type manifold, which the cylinders draw the air-fuel mixture family style. Look at it from the front. The air cleaner, the carburetor, and the manifold give a fast, plentiful, nearly direct flow of air to the cylinders. To get the most air-fuel mixture from manifold to cylinder, you have to keep the intake valves open as long as possible. And that's what a racing camshaft does. When the long side of a cam pushes on the lifter, the valve opens. The long side of a race cam is fatter than that of an ordinary cam, so the valves stay open longer in each revolution that the camshaft makes. Okay, you drive.
The opportunity to challenge the roads of any of the big automotive proving grounds is one reserved for test drivers. For them and their engineer passengers, it's great. The roads are deliberately and scientifically rugged and rigged with built-in bumps and curves that test primarily the cars, but incidentally, the drivers. Ahead, a test car holding an assigned steady speed of 50 miles per hour. Power to pass quickly is one measure of high performance. Nimble, obedient acceleration and agile handling to put a car instantly where the driver wants it.
Occasionally ask us why we make the 300s, and that's a fair question. It's not a high-volume car. Consequently, as a matter simply a business, not always a profitable car to build. But we measure its importance to Chrysler and Imperial in some terms that are just as valuable as profit. We are a company built on engineering mastery. The 300 gives us an all-out engineering car. It has put real fire and spirit into the whole job we do with every line of Chryslers and Imperials. Now you've been driving or watching the 300 on our proving grounds, where with a little planning, anything goes safely. Most 300 owners, unless they participate in controlled sports car events, can seldom drive as rapidly or venturesomely as this. But maximum speed is not for most people the 300 idea. The potential of a true sports car is something you experience, you feel, whether you use it all or only a little. And that's the thrill and the payoff. And it's something no one realizes until he tries it. Put it this way. If you yourself are capable of lifting 150 pounds, it's a snap to lift 25 pounds. More fun, certainly, than lifting the whole 150. Something like that explains why it's fun to drive a 300, even at 25 miles per hour.
Most of the people who gravitate toward high-performance cars are, in a real sense, automotive gourmets. They like precision machinery. They're knowledgeable about cars, and they're demanding about performance. Speed that isn't tightly controlled is not something they like. The sports car man takes a drive in the country, not a ride. He enjoys a unique kind of identification with his car, with the whole business of motion and power. Power to stop, power to go, ready power, reserve power, that gets down to business with an economy of time and effort. If he drives in the country, the sounds of nature sing their prettiest over the rich, throaty obbligato of his engine. He is apt to describe what he enjoys more as the unity of man and machine, the engine, the drivetrain, and the intimacy with which the sports kind of suspension connects all of this to the road. And if this kind of talk isn't clear when you first hear it, it apparently becomes clear when you experience it, because the number of high-performance owners grows with amazing speed. Historically, the boom in high performance goes back to one remarkable engine, and what has become, with the enthusiasm of some Chrysler engineers, the 300 idea.